Hello, everybody. Hi, my name is Ursanon from Jones IT, and today I'm going to help you make the switch to Gmail. So, first off, welcome to Gmail. I'm really thrilled that your company is going to be moving over to Gmail, and we just want to make sure you're all set and ready to go for the change. So, what is Gmail? It's an email service provided by Google, and it's part of the apps Google Apps Suite that we're going to be using, which also includes other products such as Google Drive, Docs, and Sheets. And basically, Gmail is the reason why we're moving to Google Apps. It's really going to be fantastic. We moved over to it a couple years ago, and things are working great with us. I absolutely love it. I'm way more productive with it, and it's just great. It's always online, so it's accessible from anywhere, wherever you go. It has a really great search function, so if you're used to using Outlook, you understand how hard it is to search sometimes for that one email you need at the right time. In Outlook, the search just sometimes just didn't work so well, but in Gmail, it works fantastic. Also, Gmail is really great to seeing the statistics just across thousands of email users. And it kind of helps us understand trends of, you know, uh, understand when things are crashing and how to just better support technical issues. So things are better in that case. Also, our customers who use Gmail have a 30% higher customer satisfaction rating when using it compared to our Outlook users. So people are just happier when they use Gmail. And I know some of you who already use it for your personal, um, personal emails. I think you guys understand how cool it is. Um, but I think some of you who've never used Gmail before and really, are happy the way Outlook works, I think it could be a little scary for you the first time you log on. And everything is going to look different, and the buttons might not be in the same place where that you're used to seeing. However, I just want you to tell you to just don't worry. Sit back, take the time, and you're going to have all the same powers that you have in a traditional email client like Outlook or Apple Mail. And once you get the hang of it, you'll never be looking back. So you'll have everything you used to have before, and then some extra cool stuff. All right, so let's take a look at kind of the difference between Outlook and Gmail. Basically, Gmail, as I mentioned before, it's provided on the internet, so it can be used on any computer anywhere. You're not restricted to the way it used to be, where you could only access your email where Outlook was set up. Gmail can be used wherever you are. Um, Messages in Gmail are grouped in what's called conversation threads. Um, Also, Gmail uses labels instead of folders, but they're basically the same thing. When you have an important message in Gmail, you will star them. Also, you can add messages to your task list, um, and you're able to color code these labels if you want. In Gmail, you're not going to really sort messages by like date or size as you did before in Outlook. You're going to use a Gmail search function. Also, Gmail, you're going to have to check the spelling after you compose a message. There's also ways to create canned responses. Another big difference is that in Gmail, you're going to archive messages, um, whereas in Outlook, you would delete them. And also by archiving them in Gmail, you can search for old emails much more easier. There's also desktop notifications. And also you can use mailbox delegation. And last but not least, if you need to attach messages to people, you're going to forward them in a conversation instead. So I know that was really quick, but I'm going to go over most of these individually. So just sit back and enjoy the ride. All right, when it comes to composing, the first thing you need to know is once you log into your Gmail, you're going to click the nice big red compose button, which is on the top left-hand side, and you're going to enter the email address, subject, and content in your email, just like you would in Outlook as you did before. And the key difference here is when you want to check your spelling, um, you're going to go to the bottom of the email and click on that small little upside down triangle arrow. That's going to open up a menu and hit the check spelling button. So this will make things ready for you to send out. All right, next, some more formatting things. So basically, to format and change the type of your message. On the bottom of the email, you'll look for the icon that shows like a bolded letter A underlined, and you'll click this to see the formatting options like bold, italics, underline. Um, and if you want to add photos to your message, you're going to click the camera button. And this, if you use a Chrome browser, you can also just drag and drop the photo into your email. There's another feature that you can use called can responses. So if you're interested in this, you can go to your settings and create a message that you send repeatedly. So let's say maybe there's a thank you letter that you always send out and you just wanted to save it. So there's a way to do this. So just know it's possible if you're curious. When it comes to setting your signatures, which I'm sure everybody will like to do, you're going to go to the settings. And to get to the settings, there's a button that looks like a gear. And you'll click that, go into settings, and there's a section for your signature in there. All right. When it comes to attaching files to your message, it's very similar to attaching photos, but instead you're going to click the paperclip icon at the bottom of the message and browse for your file. Or if you're using a Chrome browser, you can drag and drop your file into the message. Also, when you're receiving emails with attachments, um, you should just know that you can view or download the file, but just know that you have plenty of disk space, so you don't need to delete the message to save disk space. Gmail comes with a good amount already. All right, conversations. So I mentioned this at the start. In Outlook, basically, when you got a bunch of messages from with the same subject, the same email chain going around, uh, Microsoft would have these separated in as different messages. What Gmail does, which is very cool, is put them together as a conversation. Now, if you absolutely hate this, there is a way to turn this off, but I think it's a very cool feature and helps keep you organized and have all the emails in one place. So to view the conversations, you were going to just click on the most recent message that you got. And you'll notice that there's some small little buttons on the top right of the email, some little icons. So the button that shows like a little box with the arrow facing down, that will expand or collapse all the messages to either be able to see them all at once. The printing button will print all the messages, and the button with the arrow pointing to the top right, that will open the conversation in a brand new window if you need to focus better that way. Now, if you need to print or delete an individual message within the conversation, you're going to select the message that you want to work with and click on the small downward facing arrow, basically the upside down triangle next to the reply button. And from there, you can select what you want to do. So you can either print it or delete it. When it comes to replying, you're going to the options are in the same area as printing and deleting. So you're going to click the small little arrow next to the reply button, and you can either reply, which will go to just the one single user that emailed you, or you can reply all, which will message everybody that is involved in the email. And just keep in mind when you do this, keep in mind, be aware of the to and the CC fields, and also BCC, just to make sure you're sending it to the right people. All right, when it comes to forwarding, it all happens in the same place that I mentioned before as printing, deleting, and replying. You're going to click the little upside down triangle next to the reply button, and then you're going to click forward. And what this will do is this will just forward the message, the single message, the most recent email within the conversation. Now, if you want to forward an entire conversation, what you're going to do is, I know back when Outlook, you're able to just attach emails and forward those, as attachments. But Gmail is a little bit different in this case. What you're going to do is select the conversations that you want to send over, and at the top of the email browser, you're going to click the More button and scroll down to the option that says Forward All. And this will send the entire conversation uh, to the people you want to send it to. All right, a little bit about archiving versus deleting. I mentioned this at the start as well. Now in Outlook, basically what you would do to save space, maybe you have someone nagging you that your file is getting too big, or you just want to kind of declutter things a little bit. You're just simply press the delete button and it'll trash your message, and you won't ever be able to see it again, right? But in Gmail, it's a little bit different. You have two options to do if you want to clear up clutter in your inbox. So what you would do is select your messages that you want to get rid of. If you totally wanted to trash it for them to never be able to see it again, you would click the trash icon to totally get rid of the email. But what's really cool and what's something that I love to do is archiving. So instead of trashing it, I select the messages that I want to clear from my inbox and click the archive button, which looks like a box with a downward facing arrow. And what this does is it clears away the messages from your inbox, but it still saves it in the system so that you can recover it later on or search for it. Now, if you want to look through your messages that have been archived, you can go to the left-hand side of your Gmail, right below the compose and inbox buttons, and look for the button that says all mail. And this is where all the archived mail has been stored. And what you can also do is also search for it, which I'm going to talk about a little bit later. Actually, I'm going to talk about it now. Sorry. So basically, what's really great about Gmail, which sets it apart from Outlook and other email products, is searching. So say you just archived a bunch of messages, last year from a long time ago, and because you didn't have to trash them, they're still in the folder. You're still able to search for them. So it's really great. Basically, you're going to go to the top of your email browser and look for the area. There's a little text box for you to type with a blue magnifier glass. So in here, you're going to maybe type in, finance report from Bob, and it'll be able to pull up all the emails that are relevant to that search. If you need a more detailed search with a more specific timeline, or person you sent it to, or a person who sent it to you, or has some certain keywords, or has an attachment, click on the little downward facing arrow next to the text box, and this will allow you to bring up more options that you can enter. All right, let's talk a little bit about labels versus folders. In Outlook, if you're a organizational freak like me, you're going to have tons of folders, one for each little category of work that you do. Um, and I think this is a great way to keep organized. So some people still like to do this. And this is completely possible in Gmail, except they don't call it folders, they call them labels. And so what you're going to do is look for the button that looks like a little shopping tag, and you're going to click on it and click Manage Labels. And in here, you can set up all your labels or basically their folders, the same way you had it in Outlook. And in here, you can have subfolders, sublabels, and you can assign different colors to them if you prefer, if that's kind of your thing. And once you've done that, you can go ahead and organize your mail through the different labels. So you're going to select the messages that you want to move into a different label. Once you've selected those messages, you're going to click that same shopping tag button and check box the different labels that you want them to go into. What's really cool is you can move the messages into multiple places. So it can go into the finance folder or the project folder, both at the same time. Now, once you need to retrieve these messages that are in the labels, you're going to go over to the left-hand side of your Gmail and look for the label which should be listed beneath the compose and inbox buttons. And just click on the label that you desire. And just keep in mind, if you don't see the label there, there should be a more button which will expand the list that you have, just because Gmail tends to collapse your lists over there on the left-hand side to kind of give you some more space. All right. Let's talk about stars versus flags. In Outlook, you used to be able to flag important emails. And in Gmail, you can do the exact same thing, except they use what's called stars. So whenever you see an important email that you want to flag, instead click on the little star button. And what this will do is this will create a label, a starred label for you. So if you need to retrieve and see, okay, what are my top 10 little stars that I need to look at for later on, go onto the left-hand side and click on the starred label button, which should be below your compose and inbox button. And there you'll be able to see every email that you've starred. All right. Also in Gmail, um, you're able to create tasks from your messages. This is not something I use very much, and I don't come across people who use this so much, but just know it's there. And to get there, you're going to select the messages you want to add to your tasks, click on the More button, which is up top, and scroll down to the Add Tasks. What this will do is add this to a little to-do list that you'll be able to see later, and you can also add this to your calendar. So if this is something you use a lot, we're happy to give you more information if you need. And if you really want to get fancy, just know you can color code and customize those stars. So if you don't like stars, you can add exclamation marks. If you don't like, the basic colors they have, you can have every color to rainbow in there for your labels. So just know that's possible for you creative types. Now filters. This is something that's really great, and this is something we really use at Jones IT a lot. This basically what this does is allow you to automatically categorize your messages as they come in. So let's say every time an email from your boss comes in, you want it to go into a folder called the boss folder or the boss label. So you can quickly know that this is something that's high priority that you need to get working on right away. So to get there, what you're going to do is um, you're going to create the filters within the settings area, and you can mark it mark all your settings the way you want it. So you can ask it to, whenever an email from your boss comes in, it's going to move it to a certain label. So if you're really interested in this, let us know and we can totally help you out with this. All right, now the important stuff, right? Vacation notifications. So we all want to go to vacation, um, and we want to let our coworkers and different people know we're on vacation, right? So this is pretty straightforward to do. If you want to set this up, it is located in the settings. So you're going to go to the gear, the button that looks like a nice little gear on the top right-hand side of your Gmail window, and click on it and click on settings. And then there should be inside within the settings, there's an area for you to set up the vacation notifier. In addition, there's also a way to set up desktop notifications in the settings if this is something you want that you'd like to have. All right, shared mailboxes and groups. The only thing I'm going to say about this is that if you want to create a shared mailbox or a group, within your organization, let's say you want to have something for a little marketing committee or recruiting committee. It's totally possible. I don't want to go into the details here in this presentation, but if you want to make it happen, let us know, and we can make sure it's set up for you. Same thing goes with mail delegation. If this is something you guys want, we're happy to set this up for you. But basically, the idea is if you want, uh, somebody to be able to send emails on your behalf, then this is something that can be set up. Outlook has this feature, and so it's also something that can be done in Gmail. All right, power tips, something you've all been waiting for some cool little tricks to know for being a little bit more efficient. There is a way to label and archive all in one step. Why this is important is this allows you to kind of clear your inbox and move items into the archive and also the label folders. So basically, you're going to, like I mentioned earlier, you're going to click the conversations that you want to move, and then click on the button that looks like a folder on the top, and click Move To, and it's going to move it into the label that you want to get it to. Previewing attachments is very useful. So just when you get an email with an attachment, click on the attachment and it'll open it up in a bigger form for you to quickly look at it. This is much more efficient than actually downloading it. It saves space and time. So it's also something very cool. Also, contacts, managing contacts in Gmail is really great. So to get there, you're going to click on the mail button on the top left-hand side and go over to contacts. And within the contacts manager, there's a more button. So click the more menu and you can find and merge tons of duplicates. So I like to do this every once in a while because there's always duplicates that get in there, and this way the person is all in one place. Another really important tool to use sometimes is working offline. So if you notice that this is something you do, especially for laptops, sometimes the Starbucks Wi-Fi will go off and you don't want to lose your place where you're working. So this can be set up in the settings, and I highly advise this as well. All right, a couple more power tips, more like FYIs. Gmail has this thing called Gmail Labs, which is cool. They kind of basically have a bunch of apps and features in there that they're testing out. So if you're really geeky and you want to nerd out and get some cool new features, just know it's there. Same goes with keyboard shortcuts. If you want to know the shortcuts or set them up yourself, you're going to go to the settings and set those up. And also know that in Gmail, you can recall messages or undo the sends. So as soon as you send a message, there'll be a little small pop-up at the top that will notify you that your message has been sent. And it'll have a button that says undo the send. But I would be careful with this one because it doesn't stay up there forever. And when you send a message, you better make sure it's good, right? But know it's there just in case. So that's always good. All right, we're down to one of my last slides here. So I thank you for your patience so far. Um, Basically, here we have a bunch of resources and guides available to you. And don't worry, I'm going to email this presentation to you and have it available if you need. But if you really want to dive into it, just know you have a bunch of these resources to go after. And that's it. So we've come to the conclusion of our presentation, and I want to thank you so much for your patience and your time, for taking time out of your day to learn a little bit about Gmail. Um, and I want to assure you that we're here for every step of the way. I know sometimes the buttons and learning some new tricks might be a little bit difficult in the beginning, but once you're all good to go, I can assure you that this is going to be a great thing for you and your company. So if you still need extra help, we're here. You can reach us at our support@itjones.com email or give us a ring at 415-578-7111 during our business hours, or hit us up on our support portal on our website. And yeah, and I would say the best resource that we have is this cool little Google Docs spreadsheet that we have available, which has pretty much all the information you need about Gmail and Google Apps. So yeah, that's it. That's the end. And thank you so much for paying attention if you've made it this far. And if you're napping, it's time to wake up and get back to work. But yeah, thank you so much and have a great day. Bye.